Welcome to my channel. So today's topic of discussion is to get past the barrier to entry for new tradesmen coming into the field. I am not affiliated nor am I sponsored by any of the following corporations or companies or individuals. That being said, I think that Micro and MicroWorks have really created a valuable conceptual idea for young people. And I want to help facilitate my portion of that solution. From my point of view, the simplest thing for me to do is to create a incentive to get past the barrier to entry for new tradesmen. And the easiest thing that I can come up with at the lowest cost is to create mobile trailers that are mobile fabrication shops for specific trades. For me personally, I'm a blacksmith, a welder, carpenter, fabricator. I can generally do things that are mechanical. I can do construction, demolition, etc. So I want to focus on getting trailers that are operational for blacksmiths, welders, and carpenters. Other systems could be set up for mobile mechanics, for HVAC people, for insulation, for concrete. We could do a lot of different systems out of the generics of a trailer. What I want to do is I want to keep the cost of entry to purchase the trailer and all the equipment in the trailer between $12,500 and $50,000 on the high end. So I want the barrier to entry to be as low as $12,500 and as high as $50,000 paying on their tool sets. Now the $50,000 is obviously going to be highly specialized to an individual's needs and wants. The $12,500 is a generic baseline in the field of their work. In other words, they would have the general tools to get started, not the specific tools for the job. It would be enough to get them to get a start place, and then they could select out tools that they need to purchase and get in and put in the trailer to their needs. In the process of doing that, the trailers have a weight ratio component for towing, and that cannot be violated. So typically the trailer's weight ratio is about 3,000 pounds for the trailers that I'm looking at dealing with. What that means is that if the trailer weighs 1,000 pounds, then the trailer's cargo capacity is 2,000 pounds. That's its max. If the trailer weighs 1,500 pounds, then the cargo capacity of the trailer is 1,500 pounds max. And so that I'm designing the systems so that way they're weight rated properly to the 60-40 rough ratio. The tooling is accessible, and the tooling is mobile or stationary depending on what is needed for the trailer. My interest is to help new startup tradespeople get a mobile shop going so they can go to a construction site and build something for that construction site and that construction company, offering a value-added service instead of just being labor. They bring their own tools to the job, they bring their own value to the job, and they can get into the trades much faster and easier than the slow process of building up a tool set and having to move the tools constantly to and from a house or to and from a warehouse or whatever functional system that they're using. That's what I want to do. That's where I want to help you. And if you're interested in seeing that, that's how I'm going to help MicroWorks and the affiliate companies of MicroWorks. And I'm not affiliated to them. I'm not sponsored by them. But I think what Micro is doing and his staff is doing is highly valuable. And I want to produce a small portion of that in return And this is where I have more expertise for myself and what I understand, because I've been a blacksmith, I've been a welder, I've been a carpenter, I've been a fabricator. I've had 4 shops worth of tools. I don't have those tools anymore because I had to get rid of them all every time something changed in my life. If I'd had a trailer, I could have taken the trailer with me. I could have had the tools and not had the expense of all the tools constantly having to be bought again and purchased again. And I want to reduce the time from purchase to money making. And I believe that the trailer is the easiest, simplest way to do that. Now there's some pros and cons. One, you got to drag a trailer around. Kind of sucks. Trailers are not easy to always drag around. Parking sucks for trailer. 2, you have to store the trailer somewhere. That's not on me. You store the trailer where you store the trailer, that's on you. 3, everybody talks about theft of trailers, and yet I don't hear about a lot of people losing their trailers to theft. It would be a problem, but maybe we can correct it by putting a geotag or something on it, making it so we can track the trailer if it gets stolen and the police can go pick it up. And 4, the initial cost. Not every kid has $12,500 in his pocket. He definitely doesn't have 50 grand in his pocket. So there's going to have to be a way to get them the trailer with the tooling without sacrificing money they don't have. Yet I still think this is the least costly, easiest way to get them into ownership of what they are doing. That may come up with some loan system through a bank or through financing or some other system, but I believe that it helps not restrict someone because of the cost, which is a barrier to entry. It also doesn't restrict someone if they're able to be mobile and they're not stuck in a building they have to pay rent on every month. So there's some advantages. Some other downsides is they need mobile power. They got to run tooling, 110, 220, whatever. They need mobile power, and that has to be inside the cargo mate or the Wells cargo trailer. So these are the ideas that I'm thinking about, and these are the ideas that I'm looking to execute on. If you're interested in this kind of content, leave a comment. If you want to get involved and give me some ideas, leave a comment. If you like this kind of stuff, thumbs up, subscribe. I'll keep you informed on progress and how things go. Have a great day.